Starting all over. Starting all over. All right, I'm trying this again and see if my camera can last a little longer. I don't know what the problem was with that. So, hello, say hello in the chat if you want to, and hopefully we'll get some more folks back. Hey, Ibanez Rockstar, how are you? I'll have to switch guitars just for you. I have an 83 Ibanez Roadstar. It's actually my best guitar. It's the best Strat I've ever owned, and it's not a Strat, and I've owned real Strats. So thanks for joining. I've never gone live before, and I figured what better to do. So thanks for checking in. We had a few people on earlier, and my camera crapped out on me, so I kind of started all over. So I'm just noodling around, and let me know where you live. I mean, not your address, but just like the state you're in, just so I have an idea. I used to know a bunch of Def Leppard songs. Whoops. I haven't played that for a long time. Awesome. See, I'm down in the peace and quiet of my basement. My kids are upstairs. My wife's away at my daughter's house, babysitting her granddaughter, my daughter's daughter. So it's kind of peaceful here tonight. Really? Wow, you're the only one. Oh man, that's awesome. Thank you very much. I started this channel way back. It was actually Valentine's Day, and not, it just happened to be Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day of 2014. And I only was putting stuff up very sporadically. The first couple weeks I was putting stuff up regularly, and I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. And then I'd go 6 months and not do anything. And then I'd go, I think I have stretches of over a year where I didn't do anything. And it's only been about the last year and a half that I've tried to be semi-regular. And I try and do something, if not, at least 3 times a week, usually. And, I don't have any illusions of ever having, 1 million subscribers, but I just do it for fun. When I was a kid, for a ham, YouTube's great, man. You can make videos and watch yourself. And if someone watches, then that's great. That's just kind of incidental, but I appreciate you subscribing. That's cool. I'm up to about 22, almost 20, over 2,200, I think. 2270, something like that, almost to 2,300. So am I subbed to your channel? I'll make sure I am. I'll make sure I sub. Do you do lessons, or do you talk about music, or what do you usually? I do, and that's part of my problem. I'm breaking the YouTube rules. You're supposed to pick a niche, and my niche is just really broad. I mean, it's guitar stuff, but I do playing videos. I talk about music news. I do reviews. I kind of do all kinds of crap. You know what? Do one, Bruce. Do one, seriously. I mean, it's kind of fun, and what I find. What I find about YouTube is if you're doing it with the intention of making money, then you'll be sorely disappointed. But if you've got a hobby or something that you're passionate about, it's awesome, man. And I really think in the long run, that shows. If you're doing something that people like, they can tell if you're just trying. So here's the deal. There's a lot of viral channels, right? And the whole purpose of these channels is to make money. And you've seen them. These are these channels that do all the countdowns, Mojo, the top 10 movies of 1970, the whole, amazing facts, whatever it is, those are all about making money. And they get lots of views and stuff, but man, they're boring. I'd much rather watch a channel with someone who's passionate about what they're doing, whether it's about fishing or guitar playing or whatever. But yeah, Brookwood Bruce, I would definitely start a channel. And we did lose the old comments. Yeah, thank you for coming back. And so far, knock on wood, my camera's working. Oh, trolls, you know what? If you can juggle 5 chainsaws, you'll get lots of views. Totally. You'll especially get lots of views for that video when you miss, right? That's the one that they'll show over and over. Trolls are, it's so funny at first, and that's the thing is when you go out on YouTube, you're kind of, you're putting yourself out there. And there are some people that just get their jollies from being a troll. And that says more about them than about the person with the channel, for sure. And I just ignore them now, but I can remember the first nasty comments, where people would just say, "You suck. You should get off of YouTube. You're terrible. You have such a punchable face." I mean, I had one of those. That was the best. "You have such a punchable face. You suck so bad." And I'd get those. And at first it was kind of like, it bugged me. Now it's just kind of funny because I just imagine what's going on in this person's life that they have to go after someone on YouTube. it's kind of sad, really, when you think about it. And yeah, you'll get thumbs down. You always, that's just part of the, comes with the territory, but it's fun. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and just organically, over, obviously it's been 6 years now, over 6 years. And if I was serious about it, it would have happened a lot quicker, but over 6 years, I got to 2,500 subscribers. And the way YouTube works is you can't even monetize until you have a couple things. You got to have 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time in the previous 12 months. Okay. And that's not the way it was when I started. When I started, you could monetize right away, and you could start making money. And I can remember every day I'd look at my reports and I'd see, wow, I made 14 cents last week, and you'd start to see, and you'd say, I'm making $4 a month. And the way it works is they don't send you a check until you've made $100. Well, you're talking about this. Watch out for Explosive Destroyer. He's really okay. Explosive Destroyer. I'll keep my eye out for him. But so in the early days, you could start making money right away. And it took me, seriously, guys, like 4 years till I got my first check. I got one check, for $100, and that's after like 3.5 years. I'd finally made $100 after 3.5 years. And then all of a sudden they changed the policy, and I stopped making money, because at that point I had like 700 subscribers, and you had to have 1,000. And so there's like a year period where I wasn't making any money. And then all of a sudden I hit my 1,000 subscribers, and I started making money. And I make $60 a month. That's how much I make from my YouTube channel, $60 a month. So like every 3 months, because they don't send you, or every 2 months, they don't send you a check until you've hit $100. So like every 2 months, I get a check for like $120. But you know what? I'm doing it for fun, and that's just kind of, just a little gravy. It depends on what you're doing it for. What's motivating you. Ibanez, do you have a channel? I think I asked you that, but I didn't. You said you don't know what you're doing on it, but I'm not sure what I got to find you now and subscribe. So I'll make sure I do that if I haven't. And there's probably, and that's the thing, Bruce, is if you're doing it for fun, then it's fun. It's fun. I've had like 3 times where people, and it's all 3 times it's been people that I work with. I work for a company that's pretty big, and I've been there quite a while. And my role in that company, I'm a trainer. So I train a lot of employees. And so I know a lot of people in the company, and there's like 15,000 people in the company. And I've had 3 people, come up and say, I found your guitar channel. I didn't even know you played. I didn't, because my job is very corporate, and so they're shocked when they see I play guitar and stuff and have a channel. But it's always kind of cool when someone says, oh yeah, that was cool. I watch it all the time. I had my son subscribe because he's trying to learn how to play guitar. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, it's all depends on what your expectations are, and some people, their whole idea is to make money. And so they're just trying to find an angle to make money instead of just do what they like. And I think they'd have better luck if they just stuck to what they like doing. That's my opinion. One thing I did want to mention, you guys have probably seen this, is that Frankie Banali died. Actually died yesterday, but the news came out today. Frankie Banali was the drummer for Quiet Riot, and he's had pancreatic cancer. I just saw a video of him about a week ago, and he'd just gotten out of the hospital, and he looked weak, but I actually thought he was doing okay. I mean, I'm sure he tried to put as positive a spin on it as he could, because he's like, I just got out of the hospital and I'll be back soon. And then it was sad to hear that he just passed away yesterday. Quiet Riot was a big part of my of my formative years. In fact, I saw, how's this for a concert? It was three bands on the bill. Quiet Riot was headlining. This is that summer after Metal Health came out, and they were on fire. Quiet Riot headlined. Motley Crue was in the middle. And then this little band I never heard of opened, and this guy came out, and he's wearing like big, tall, like army Nazi boots, you know, and he's got the pants that puff out on the side like he's some type of soldier or something, and his hair's all spiky, sticking straight up. You know who it was? It was Queensryche. And I went out the next day and bought that EP. Loved it. And Queensryche was the best band. I'd never even heard of them. And that was my exposure to Queensryche. I rushed right out and bought the EP, and then bought The Warning when it came out. And I really dug them. I dug those first few albums. Rage for Order, I liked. Operation Mindcrime, I liked. It wasn't that I didn't like Empire. I just wasn't listening to them as much then. But yeah, they were very cool. So Ibanez, you need to learn how to play guitar. The guitar is a wonderful instrument, and this is the perfect time to learn to play. So I'm old. I'm 50. I'm 53. When I learned to play guitar, I got my first guitar when I was like 10, but I really seriously didn't start learning until I was about 14. And back in the days, there was no internet, right? You could sign up for guitar lessons at the music store, and you'd have some old guy that would show you how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb or something, and that sucked. And I had a friend show me some bar chords, and I'd learn how to play bar chords. And if you're a guitar player, you know your bar chords. You learn to play those bar chords, and then you can move them all over the place. Well, once I learned bar chords, that kind of opened everything up. And I remember in the guitar magazines, there was this ad for Metal Method. Any of you that are old enough will remember these Metal Method ads. And I actually ordered them, and they were awesome. And there's Metal Method's still around, and you can still get the lessons. But that was awesome. But now, guys, there are so many channels on YouTube that you can go and learn to play stuff. There's this guy, what's it called? Shut Up and Play Your Guitar. Check out that channel, Ibanez. His videos all look the same. He always wears a black shirt, and it's a black background. So all you see is usually he's playing kind of a wine-colored Les Paul, and so it's just black behind him. So all you see is the guitar, and that guy plays spot-on versions of everything that he plays. He's the best guy on YouTube, I think. Guitar 365, I think his name's Carl. That guy's pretty good. There's several of them. Who's the other guy? Rockin' Guitar Lessons, that he'll show you stuff, but he only shows you snippets. He doesn't give you a full-on lesson because he's trying to sell lessons. But he's pretty good too. But there's tons of stuff on there. You've been playing guitar since you were 3, and you're 7? Are you only 7? All right. Hey, Bruce, did you see those bands together or separately? I've seen Motley Crue twice, actually. I saw them with opening for Quiet Riot, and then I saw them shortly later opening for Ozzy on the Bark at the Moon tour. And by then, Shout at the Devil had kind of taken off, and they were doing better then than when I'd seen them the first time. So yeah, I've seen him. That's the only time I'd seen Queensryche. And I've only seen Quiet Riot that one time as well. I've seen Ozzy a few times. But yeah, Queensryche was awesome. I'm in Washington State, so Queensryche was a big deal around here. So a lot of fans of Queensryche in this area. So I was kind of bummed when they broke up, and I try to watch the various, there's just a lot of drama there. There's the what's called Queen's Reich, which doesn't have Jeff Tate and only has I think 1 or 2 original members now. And then there's Jeff Tate's group. I don't know what it's called. I think it might be called Operation Mindcrime, might be the name of his band. But definitely a case of the sum of the parts not equaling the whole, or whatever that expression is, right? Neither of them are as good as the original Queen's Reich, but that's too bad. Too bad when your favorite bands break up, for sure. There's my Alvin Lee lick, or Sugarloaf, Green-Eyed Lady. I fret out here. Hear this? I get up here and my strings start to fret out a little bit. All right, Ibanez. Well, great. Thanks for watching. And I will be watching for your videos. That's awesome. Okay, I've seen videos of the Land of Oz. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I saw in 1982, I saw the Diary of a Madman tour. Now, Randy Rhoads died in March. I saw them in June. So when I saw them in Spokane, Washington, which is where I live, and Brad Gillis was with them and was awesome. He did a great job. But man, I would have loved to have seen them with Randy. It was really kind of sad that the tour book and everything still had Randy in it. I have the tour book somewhere. I got to find that. It's probably worth something. But that was a great show. And then I saw him on Diary and on Bark at the Moon and Ultimate Sin. Yeah, so I saw him three tours in a row. And I really liked Brad Gillis when I saw him live. Oh, so you saw him with Randy. That is awesome. That is awesome. And you know what's sad is there's so little good footage of Randy. That the After Hours clip that I'm sure you've probably seen. That's about the best footage that there is. There's footage of a show from like Phoenix, I think. And oh, dang it, Bruce, man, that would have been cool. There's footage of a show. It's just so frustrating. Footage of a show from Phoenix, which is actually pretty good, but it's shot from Rudy Sarzo's side of the stage. And this person filmed Rudy the whole time. And it's like, come on, man. They're playing Over the Mountain with one of the most iconic guitar solos of all time. And he's zooming in on the bass player during this solo. I'm like, come on, dude. But there's so little footage of Randy. And I always, you always wonder, what would he have done if he hadn't died? You can think that about a lot of great people. What would they have done if they were still here? We've missed out on a lot of great music. You had a chance to go and you passed on it. Yep. And that's one of those things that, man, had you been able to see them, that would be a cool memory, because not many people actually got to see him. Yeah, it's sad. And he was such a, just everything I've read, just a very gentle, kind person. And even when you hear interviews with him, he's very, very soft spoken and just very nice guy. And it was sad, and really loved music, loved classical music. He was a teacher and loved teaching. So yeah, it was sad to see him go. I was a freshman in high school when that happened, and I had just gotten into Ozzy. I had Blizzard and I had Diary, and then that happened. I'm almost done, Adam. Okay. All right. So yeah, it was pretty sad. See ya, Ibanez. So yeah, it was sad. Well, guys, thank you. I appreciate you coming on. I'd never done a live stream. And so I just wanted to kind of try and, more than anything, get the mechanics down and see how it works. And so now I know, and I appreciate you guys hopping in and commenting, and I'll try these again sometime. And it's just cool to talk to people. Zebra. I love Zebra. Tell me what you want. It's the one people always talk about, but remember who's behind the door. Oh, I love that song. They're still playing. Around. I've seen videos from the last, 3 or 4 years where it's still the same 3 guys. And Randy Jackson, that's his name. Not the same Randy Jackson from American Idol and now Journey, but his name's Randy Jackson too, the guy in Zebra. They were really good. Yeah, I really liked them. There's something about Canada and 3-piece bands, right? Because I think Zebra was Canadian, right? Think about it. You got Zebra, you got Triumph, another great 3-piece band, and of course Rush. And there's 3 phenomenal 3-piece bands, right? The Power Trio. Maybe it's because Canada's so sparsely populated. There's not enough people to have more than 3 people in it. I don't know. Another great Canadian band that never got enough press, the Headpins. You guys ever hear the Headpins? They're really good. Turn It Loud. That's a great album. I think it's around 81, came out 81, 82. Really good album. I'm a huge Loverboy fan. Paul Dean. Yeah. Love it. There's some great Canadian band. In fact, on my Spotify, I have a playlist called Canadians, and all it is bands from Canada. And there's a lot of good stuff. Honeymoon Suite. Remember those guys? They were pretty good. So April Wine. Oh, I love April Wine. So there's some great Canadian groups. I mentioned, I can't remember if it was on this call. It was before my camera died before. I live about 2 hours from the Canadian border, 90 minutes, 2 hours. I'm in northeastern Washington, so I can head up. And we used to go the Guess Who and BTO. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Really Smart is back. It's a recurring nightmare. And it's Really Smart, who's from Canada. We're talking about Canada again, Really Smart. Thanks for coming back. The joke I always say is, I was up in Canada. It's like a whole different country up there. Yeah. We have a lot of Canadians that come down here. We're close enough that we have see a lot of folks from Canada. Honeymoon Suite is awesome. Okay, they are awesome. That album, I can't remember the album. It might have just been called Honeymoon Suite, but the one with I Got a New Girl Now, that's a great song. I love that song. They had some good stuff. They were good. And the Guess Who, yeah, phenomenal. Okay, guys. I saw April Wine, I saw them in Norman, Oklahoma, on the Nature of the Beast. Really good. Love that album. You're going to laugh when I tell you this. Maybe the Guess Who put out an album about 2 years ago. Can't remember what it's called. The only original member is the drummer. I don't even remember his name. But this album, it's the Guess Who. They got this guy, this singer who looks and sings exactly like Robin Zander from Cheap Trick. And it is one of the catchiest albums I've heard in years. And nothing ever came of it. It's really hard for these old classic bands to sell records. The music industry has completely changed. Radio's not going to play it. So they keep putting out these records and no one hears them. But check out this Guess Who album from about 2 years ago. Guess who's playing bass on it? Rudy Sarzo is in the Guess Who, apparently. The guy's like in 20 bands at a time, but he's on the Guess Who album. And it's a great album. And if you like Cheap Trick, you'll like this Guess Who, because it sounds like Cheap Trick. That's what it sounds like to me. Platinum Blonde. Okay. Platinum Blonde. I'm trying to remember their big song, and it's not coming to me. But I do remember Platinum Blonde. I graduated from high school in 1985. So that might kind of, if any of you, Bruce, are you my age or close to my age? If you had a chance to see Ozzy in 82, then you're probably close to my age. But yeah, I don't remember Platinum Blonde. I mean, I remember them, but I don't remember the song. Class of 83. That's a good class. It's a good class. Not as good as 85, but it's still a good class. No. Here's the thing. And I'm going to do 55. Okay. So we're in the same wheelhouse. Do you play, Bruce? Are you a guitar player? I play okay, really smart. He's the correct age. I'm 53. Yeah, good. That's awesome. Oh, New Mother Nature. I don't know if it was called that. That doesn't sound familiar. You know what? I can look on my phone right now. I'll tell you what it was called. All right. Yeah, I play in a band with our singer is 58. Our bass player is 57. We have a lady singer that she won't tell us how old she is, but we think she's about 57. I'm 53, and then our drummer's 50. So we're an old fart band, and we play 70s and 80s music. That's what we play. Okay, I'm checking out this Guess Who album really quick, because it's a good album. Okay, let's see here. Guess Who? Sorry. Okay. It's called The Future. The Future is What It Used to Be. The Future is What It Used to Be. And there's this song called When We Were Young, and this song called Playing on the Radio that you would swear it's Cheap Trick. It sounds, the guy looks like Robin Zander, sings like but it's good. I mean, it's a good album. So anyways, doesn't really matter. Okay, that's the song. The only thing I play is my stereo. Do you have vinyl? Do you collect vinyl? Do you play records, or do you listen to CDs? Because I had tons of records, and then just in the last couple years, my kids got me a nice turntable. So I dug out all my records, and I've been buying more vinyl. Awesome. And of course, now with COVID, because we're, obviously we're a cover band. We're an oldies band playing 70s and 80s. And we normally in the summer, especially, July and August, we're playing every weekend, and we haven't been able to play since March. So we're getting sick of practicing with each other. So, so we aren't really doing anything. So anyways. Oh yeah. I have the last colored vinyl. I bought a Triumph. There's a new Triumph. What do they call it? They kind of call it it's not a box set, but it's like maybe it is only 2 records. It's like a greatest hits package. It's a double LP, but it's the vinyl is gray. It looks really weird. I had a really cool Aussie picture disc, the Mr. Crowley picture disc somewhere. I've got that somewhere. That was pretty cool. I had a Boston picture disc of the first album. That was pretty cool too. Got to find these though. It was great. So, hey guys, I'm gonna sign off. Thank you so much. I know there's only a few of us, but I appreciate you doing that. And I just, like I said, I wanted to kind of figure out how to do this, and so you guys were kind of my guinea pigs, and I appreciate your help. And sometime I'll try to maybe actually schedule one and like promote it and see if I can get get some more folks to come. But I really appreciate you joining, and you guys have a great weekend. And hopefully I'll see you some more. Oh, I got to see this first. Sgt. Pepper's and Hemispheres on red see-through vinyl. That would be awesome. And Grand Illusion. I have all of those albums on vinyl, but none of them are colored. So, hey, Bruce, thanks a bunch. Us 50-year-olds got to stick together. So, all right. And Ibanez, I think he left us. Do you think he was really only 8 years old? I didn't know if he was pulling my leg or not. But anyways, thanks, guys. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a great weekend.